Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. US-Iran negotiations lasting 21 hours have failed to reach an agreement, with Iran refusing to commit to abandoning nuclear weapons development. U.S. Vice President Vance announced the lack of progress and the return of the American delegation. While President Trump has not made an official public statement on the breakdown of talks, he retweeted an article titled, "If Iran Doesn't Buckle, President Holds Ace in the Hole, Naval Blockade." The article suggests that a naval blockade, previously used to strangle Venezuela's oil revenue, could be an effective strategy against Iran. This move could dismantle Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz, cripple its economy, and increase diplomatic pressure on countries like China and India by cutting off a crucial oil supply. A security expert cited in the article also supports the idea that blockades could undermine Iran's influence in the vital waterway. Trump had previously threatened to bomb Tehran back to the Stone Age if Iran rejected a final deal. The U.S. Navy had already begun clearing mines in the Strait of Hormuz on Saturday, as reported by Linha.Doctors.Bach. According to a report from the Liberty Times, 3 supertankers, fully laden with approximately 200,000 barrels of oil each, successfully departed the Strait of Hormuz on April 11th. This event marks the first passage of large oil tankers through the critical waterway since the recent temporary ceasefire between the United States and Iran, signaling an initial recovery in shipping activity. Data from the London Stock Exchange Group, LSEG, indicated that the Greek-owned Liberian-flagged VLCC Seraphos and 2 Chinese-flagged tankers, Kospero Lake and Iranconflict, were among those that transited the strait on Saturday. The Seraphos is transporting Saudi Arabian and UAE oil to Malaysia, while Kospero Lake is carrying Iraqi oil to China. An open-source intelligence organization, OSN Defender, also noted an increase in traffic, with at least 10 ships having passed and 7 more in progress within the last 36 hours, based on marine traffic data. Xinhua reports that California is actively developing its own artificial intelligence (AI) regulation framework, taking a different approach from the federal government. In January 2026, the state enacted 2 AI safety laws, and Governor Gavin Newsom issued an executive order on March 30, 2026, directing state agencies to apply California standards to government contracts, even if federal policy deems specific companies improper. This move contrasts with the Trump administration's efforts since July 2025 to establish uniform, minimally burdensome national AI standards. In the EU's AI Act, potentially easing compliance for multinational firms. 15 years after former President Barack Obama declared a U.S. pivot to Asia to counter China's rise, that strategic shift remains largely unfulfilled, as reported by Yahoo News. The United States continues to be embroiled in Middle East conflicts, with the recent Iran war diverting significant military assets from the Asia-Pacific. This ongoing involvement has forced President Trump to postpone a crucial visit to China, raising concerns that U.S. strategic interests in Asia are being sacrificed. Critics argue the Iran war hinders Trump's preparations for an economically vital summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping and could embolden China to act against Taiwan. Supporters, however, contend that strong actions against adversaries like Venezuela and Iran, major Chinese allies, indirectly counter China globally. Despite efforts across 3 administrations, Obama's proposed TPP, which failed, Trump's withdrawal and tariffs, and Biden's continuation of tariffs and alliance strengthening, the pivot hasn't materialized. Trump's 2025 national security strategy focused Asia strategy on military deterrence in the Taiwan Strait and First Island chain to secure advanced chips and protect South China Sea routes, stating Middle East focus should diminish. Yet the Iran war has again redirected U.S. attention and resources. Hungary held its parliamentary elections on Sunday, April 12th, with opinion polls indicating that incumbent Prime Minister Viktor Orbán might struggle to secure another term. Orbán, who has described himself as a thorn in the EU's side and enjoys the backing of former U.S. President Donald Trump, is facing strong competition. Polling data suggests that the pro-European conservative candidate Petr Magyar's party has garnered significantly more support than Orbán's. Both political camps have leveled accusations of foreign interference in the election process. Notably, U.S. Vice President Vance visited Budapest earlier in the week to participate in a campaign event with Orbán. An 18-year-old first-time voter expressed the sentiment that this election represents a last chance for Hungary to choose between aligning with the East or the West, and whether to remain a normal democratic nation or revert to an alternative path. Voting commenced at 6 a.m. local time, 12 p.m. Singapore time, and concluded at 7 p.m. Preliminary results are anticipated shortly after polls close, though a close race could delay final announcements until the following Saturday. This report is from Lenta Hior Sab St. Paul. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.